Let's be real. Every celebrity flops at some point. It doesn't matter how famous you are, how strong your fan base is, or how many number ones you've had. Nobody is immune to it. The music doesn't land, the movie tanks, the PR moment backfires, and suddenly the internet declares it's over. But here's the truth. Flopping isn't the end. In fact, some of the most iconic careers in pop culture have been built on flops. The flop is often the signal that forces a reinvention, and if handled well, it sets up the comeback that makes you unforgettable. Hey friends, I'm Ana the Marketeer, your friendly neighborhood marketeer baddie. I decode the branding and marketing strategies behind celebrities, creators, and campaigns so we can learn and grow together and to help you build something authentically you. And today we're going to talk about the comeback strategy, what flopping really means, which celebs manage to bounce back after a flop, and who's still stuck in flop limbo. And of course, as always, I'm going to give you tips as a creator, artist, entrepreneur that you can take away from these celebs' journeys. Because yeah, we all flop in our own ways. But the question is, how do you turn that into a comeback? But first, I know most of you watching aren't subscribed to my channel. If you've been liking my videos, please hit subscribe right now to support the channel and get weekly breakdowns just like this. And if you join my newsletter, Marketeer's Memo, you'll get a free download of my authentic branding checklist that will give you immediate tips to elevate your current branding while staying authentically you. And also, you can listen to these episodes on Spotify as well. That link is in the description, as well as the one for Marketeer's Memo. Okay, now let's break it down. What does flopping really mean? First, let's define flopping, because it's not as simple as your album didn't go #1 or your video didn't get 1,000,000 views. Flopping is about public perception. It's when the cultural conversation decides this didn't connect. Flopping looks like a few different things. For example, it can look like commercial disappointment, which is what many people consider to be flopping. You invest big, the promo is heavy, but the results don't match. For example, thinking of Katy Perry's Witness or Justin Timberlake's Man of the Woods. Another example would be PR disasters, when the narrative around you overshadows the work. For example, Will Smith's Oscar slap, and in this case, the art was fine. He literally won an Oscar at this Oscar, but the brand took a literal and metaphorical hit. And another example is overexposure and fatigue. This is when people simply get tired of seeing you. They see you everywhere and they're over it, they're tired. For example, Jennifer Lawrence, before she took a step back for a few years, she was really falling into this fatigue category of flopping. Even the most beloved figures can hit this wall. So here's the real definition of flopping. Flopping is a disconnect between audience expectations and brand delivery. When what people hope for and what you actually give don't match, the audience withdraws their attention. And attention is the currency of fame. But here's the flip side. A flop is not final. It's feedback. The smartest stars treat a flop as data. They don't deny it, they don't panic, they regroup, recalibrate, and come back stronger. The comeback strategy. So what is the actual comeback strategy? Is it just one blueprint? Not exactly. There's usually a few different blueprints that we've seen throughout the years that celebrities will follow for their comeback after a flop. So the first one that we see often is the reinvention. You pivot into a new sound or a lane that feels fresh and authentic to you. For example, think of Miley Cyrus moving from her Can't Be Tamed era to her Bangers era, and sequentially so on and so forth. Another successful strategy is the return to core. This is when the experimentation goes a little too far, and a star often regains trust with their audience when they go back to their roots. For example, how Lady Gaga scaled down after Art Pop and reminded people of her raw talent. Another strategy is the vulnerability play. Some stars reintroduce themselves by showing growth, humility, or survival because audiences love a redemption arc. Think of Justin Bieber leaning into honesty about his struggles, and Britney Spears being reframed as a survivor for everything she went through in the 2000s. Another, last but not least, comeback strategy is the cultural timing, which was really huge with this whole nostalgia era that we've been in, I feel, for the last decade. Sometimes a comeback strategy is less about you and more about being in the right place at the right moment. Like Jennifer Lopez had her Hustlers era coincide with her Super Bowl performance and the nostalgia wave of the early 2000s. Truly, the best comebacks usually combine more than one of these. Reinvention paired with vulnerability, a return to core paired with perfect timing. The key is always authenticity. If it doesn't feel real, the audience will reject it. Stars who flopped and came back. Let's look at some celebs who've mastered the art of the comeback after a flop that really could have derailed their career. Of course, this is not an exhaustive list, so feel free to put your own thoughts and examples in the description below and share who comes to mind for you when you think of this. So the first one that comes to mind for me, which I mentioned in the last section, is Miley Cyrus. If you were there, if you remember this, her first attempt to break out of the whole Disney box that she was put in was the Can't Be Tamed era. That was a time I was very much of the core demographic in this era, and I remember thinking like, Miley, my good sis, what is going on here? It was not it. It was not it. Sorry, sis, it was not it. The visuals were confused, and the audience didn't really buy the grown-up persona yet, and the album underperformed. And honestly, I listened to that album back then and I thought, no, it wasn't giving. It wasn't giving. For many, that could have really been the end of their career, but instead, she leaned hard into reinvention. The Bangers era was chaotic, messy, and controversial in the best ways, and it worked because it was authentic to where she was at the time. She wanted to rebel, she wanted to change, she cut her hair, she wore different clothes, like she really, really leaned into reinventing herself in a different way. And there's deeper discussions that we can get into here about the cultural implications and the appropriations of it as we look back on it with a 2025 lens, but that's where she was at the time. And then she had her Dead Pets era, then she had her Younger Now era, Plastic Hearts, and by the time she came with Endless Summer or her Flowers era, she proved she could pivot again and again. And this time it was into a more mature, empowered, and reflective voice. And I would actually say even more authentically her than, she was in her Disney era and Bangers era and her few other eras. I think she really found her stride and figuring out who she is. The lesson here is reinvention works when it matches your real evolution, not when you force it. Another celeb that did this really well is Lady Gaga. Her art pop era is famous for being her flop era, but justice for art pop, please. The critics didn't get it. The sales lagged compared to Fame Monster, and people started asking, is she over? Is she doing too much? What's going on, sis? But instead of doubling down on the spectacle, Gaga did the opposite. She stripped back. She gave us Joanne, which wasn't her biggest commercial moment, but it reminded people she was an artist. Then A Star Is Born reintroduced her to an entirely new audience. The lesson we can learn from Gaga is when the persona gets too loud, return to your brand promise. For Gaga, that was raw, emotional performance. Next, let's look at Britney Spears. She is probably the queen of the comeback. In 2007, she was declared finished by every tabloid on earth. The meltdown, the shaved head, the conservatorship, it was super, super brutal. Even her comeback at that time, the blackout era, was met with controversy after her rocky performances at the time, people judging her weight, judging her dance moves, especially compared to what she was in the past with like the iconic Slave For You performance and the iconic Baby One More Time performance. Like, she was a queen of live performances. So when it came to 2007, like, come on, this woman had 2 kids. She just went through a mental health crisis, and everyone was judging her for, coming on the stage and trying a ting after going through like the hardest years of her life. And she was really young. She was still in her like early to mid 20s, like when you really think about it. The blackout era was rough for Britney, but her fans stayed true to her. They rode for the girl. They wrote for Our Girl, and by the time she dropped Circus in 2008, she reclaimed her place in pop. Was it perfect? No, but it reframed her as a survivor, someone who could endure and still deliver great music. Our lesson from Britney: survival itself can be a brand. A clear narrative of resilience is powerful currency. And last but not least, Justin Bieber. Bieber's flop era was less about sales and more about public perception. Between 2013 and 2015, he was the tabloid villain. The DUIs, arrests, the pet monkey scandals, people were over him. But instead of disappearing forever, he staged a rebrand. Purpose gave him his first taste of redemption. Later, Justice showed a new side. Husband, faith-driven, more mature. He leaned into vulnerability and collaboration, themes he continued with Swag 1 and Swag 2, which dropped recently. Our lesson we can learn from Bieber: comebacks need honesty. People forgive chaos when you show growth. Now let's take a quick moment to look at stars who are still stuck in flop era limbo, because not everyone sticks the landing, and some stars are really still trying to figure their way back into, the zeitgeist. So let's talk about some that are struggling and what they can do differently. The first is Katy Perry. So Katy ruled the 2010s with her candy-colored camp pop style, but Witness broke the streak and Smile didn't help. By the time she dropped 143 last year in 2024, the public had moved on. And the problem? She abandoned the brand that made her beloved. She chased woke, then minimalism, then motherhood aesthetics, and none of it felt consistent. So what could she do? I honestly see 2 different paths that would help Katy Perry. The first is to lean into being a legacy act. Own her campy, maximalist pop roots. Do nostalgia tours, Vegas residencies, lean into the hits, and stop tracing the trend cycle and double down what made her her. The second thing that I think would really help Katy Perry is go all the way back to the roots. And I'm talking before Teenage Dream era, like Kissed a Girl era, even before that, when she was more like folksy vibes, folksy pop mixture vibes, little hipster pop era. Go all the way back to those roots and put out like a folksy pop album. Kind of do like what Lady Gaga did with Joanne. Do something that's completely, still true to form, but so different and unexpected from her. And I think that's what she needs, is like something that brought her back to Hot and Cold era, back to Kiss the Girl, back to the song's kind of controversial now, but You're So Gay and You Don't Even Like Boy. That era, I think she should do an album that brings her back there and bring in some folksy elements, or like experiment with some genre bending. Another star is Normani. She is insanely talented. There's no doubting that this girl is not talented, but her brand promise has never really been clear. The singles are scattered, the rollouts delayed, and the persona does all the heavy lifting without a story underneath. The audience doesn't know what to expect, so they've stopped expecting. What she could do is drop a cohesive body of work, something with a strong point of view. Anchor her story in vulnerability, or empowerment. So the persona has roots. And lastly, Jason Derulo. Honestly, he dominated the early 2010s with his string of pop and R&B hits, but over the last decade, where has he been? Like, his music career has completely stalled. He's more recognized now for TikTok skits and viral moments than his chart-topping singles. The persona of fun, flashy, viral entertainer still works on social platforms, but the brand of credible hitmaker has faded. So what could he do? Recenter his identity as a musician. Instead of leaning solely on gimmicks, focus on crafting a cohesive project or collaborating strategically to remind audiences why they loved him in the first place. Truly, he needs to reconnect with his core, I think, and show some vulnerability. I think that would help bring Jason Derulo back into the zeitgeist and make him come back as that pop R&B hitmaker. So now let's bring it back to you with some tips for creators who feel like they're flopping, because you don't need to be Miley or Bieber or Gaga to experience a flop. Maybe your launch underperformed, maybe your content isn't hitting, maybe you feel stuck in a creative rut. So here's what you can think about if you feel like you're flopping. 1, redefine flop. It's not failure, it's feedback. Flopping means something didn't connect. That's data. Use it. 2, reconnect with your brand promise. What do people come to you for? What did they love about you in the first place? That's usually the anchor for a comeback. 3, control the narrative. If you're pivoting, tell the story. Don't let silence or assumptions define you. People will forgive change if you bring them with you. 4, experiment, but with intention. Reinvention can work, but it has to be authentic. Don't just try on aesthetics. Make sure the new direction matches where you are in life and work. 5, play the long game. One flop doesn't end a career. Ignoring the lesson behind a flop does. Longevity comes from resilience, not perfection. At the end of the day, every star flops. Every creator will too. The difference between fading and thriving is whether you learn to master the comeback and use the flop as a lesson. The ones who bounce back show us that flops can be launch pads, and the ones still stuck remind us what happens when you chase personas without anchoring your brand. So ask yourself, are you building for the moment or for the comeback? Thank you guys so much for watching my video today. If you enjoyed this breakdown and it gave you something to think about, please hit subscribe, comment your favorite celeb comeback story, share it with a friend, and of course, listen to these on Spotify. You can follow me on IG and TikTok, and join the Marketeer's Memo email, link in the description if you want more deep dives into branding and pop culture that are more like things happening in the moment. Until next time, Marketeers, stay open, stay anchored, and most importantly, stay you.